Buongiorno, mi chiamo Liliana. Come ti chiami?
Buongiorno, mi chiamo Brittany. Da dove vieni?
Sono nato qui in America, ma i miei genitori sono nati in Messico. E tu?
La mia famiglia è americana, ma siamo di origine messicana.
Per cosa va alla scuola?
Io sono andando alla scuola e sarei insegnante di scienza. E tu?
Io sono andando alla scuola essere insegnante educazione speciale.
È stato un piacere conoscerti, Liliana.
È stato anche piacere di conoscerti. So myself and Brittany have been learning Italian for this past semester, and my experience has been easy in a way and then also difficult because the speaking, I am proficient in speaking Spanish, but I'm not proficient in writing in Spanish. So learning how to pronounce in Italian was a lot easier for me than it was to write in Italian. I think if I were to have been proficient in Spanish, then it would have been easier for me to get all the accents down and get like the format of the words down when I'm writing Italian.
Okay, so I agree with Liliana about that. Also, I feel that I do have background in Spanish. I feel like I'm fairly good at being able to speak and read in it. So I felt like that helped me kind of when I was doing the Duolingo app. When I was trying to read the sentences, I kind of used my background in Spanish more than English to kind of be like, okay, we'll use those context clues to kind of figure out what exactly I was reading. Something that I feel like that was difficult for me to kind of learn Italian better was the fact that I wasn't able to speak to somebody at least weekly. So I wasn't getting the experience of like being able to speak to somebody or hearing somebody else speak it and structure the language in a way that it is spoken, because learning over the phone or watching videos is a different experience than whenever you're actually speaking to somebody who's proficient in the language. So even making the video of us having this having the Italian conversation, it took several tries because we weren't used to speaking to somebody else in that language. I would just do it at home in the app, but it's just not the same experience. So that would have been fun to be able to talk to somebody who was kind of proficient in there, because then they also give you the feedback that you might need to be a little bit better at speaking that language.
I think that this experience is going to help me understand and relate to my future students whose first language is not English, because it has let me see their perspective and how difficult it is to actually practice and learn a second language. And even though I'm not in a class, I can understand how they're feeling in a class where everything is being taught in English and they don't know English. So it will make me as a teacher think about what kind of supports I'm giving my students so that they do understand, like showing a lot of pictures, using we talked about using different cognates for words that they know in their first language to words in English, so that they can better understand and grasp not only the content but also they're learning English at the same time. It's not two separate things.
Yeah, to my experience throughout the semester, learning Italian has really just kind of made me understand a little bit more how a student, just coming into the classroom not knowing English, what kind of obstacles they'll have to go through and what challenges that might come up, like if they don't have a strong proficiency in their native language, that in turn can actually affect their acquisition of a second language. Like Liliana said, also understanding how might that affect the student while they're in the classroom and they're sitting down, using the visual aids and stuff like that. And also kind of what the techniques they have to use that helps support them in their process of learning, like looking things up, using apps and stuff like that. That stuff, knowing about the Duolingo app through this class is something that maybe I can offer for my students so they can do at home or at school when they're not busy, or on the school laptops, if they're having that free time, just kind of providing them that extra time to get the practice they need.